Hello chess family, it's me National Master Jesse James, and here we go with another recap from the World Chess Championship 2023. We have King Ding versus Nepo, and well, I'm very happy to say that King Ding showed his real colors. We got the real Ding, and well, he does a beautiful game with a 98% just pure good chess game against Nepo. And Nepo, well, although he's a very good attacking player, never got his chance. Let's take a look and see this strategic masterpiece by King Ding. All right, here we go. We start with c4, knight f6. c4, knight f6. This already brings memories of whenever Ding played in the candidates and just got demolished by Nepo. So, well, it took a lot of encouragement for him, or a lot of confidence for him to play this opening against him. Here we go. Knight c3, e5. Knight f3, knight c6. Here we got the four knights over here. e3. Bishop to b4, a very nice move I like to play against this opening structure. This bishop is going to try and trade off for this knight and mess up the pawn structure, which actually does happen in this game. Queen c2, bishop takes, and pawn takes. Here, Ding says, you know what, it's alright for you to take. I'll take the bishop pair. I'm going to play pawn to d4 in the future and just have a beautiful pawn structure. d6 got played, pawn to e4, castles kingside, bishop over to e2. Knight to h5, a very interesting move here by Nepo. I think this is probably where he just starts to go off on the deep end. But again, when you play against these kind of creative types like Nepo, you know, they're going to be making a lot of interesting moves here that can really throw off your opponent. It's either going to be good or it can be bad for yourself. Remember, it's a lot harder to be creative than it is to be systematic chess player. Why? There's a system, things go on, you're very used to it. Rather, being creative chess player, well, you have to create something new each time, and that can be very, very difficult, especially whenever you're playing in a match. And the World Chess Championship match is, well, one of the hardest ones you can do psychologically. All right, here we go. Pawn d4. Let's take the center and control this f4 square. That's obviously where this knight's heading over to. Knight to f4, and I'm sure it didn't take Ding long. He's just going to go ahead and snack attack. Bishop takes on f4 and e takes on f4. So here we go. Here we got the imbalance in the position. Here he didn't have to do anything much in this game to go ahead and get a little advantage. He's got a very strong, solid pawn structure, and now, well, he even has a weak pawn here on f4 that he can attack. All right, here we go. Castles kingside, queen over to f6, rook to e1, rook to e8, and bishop to d3. Again, he didn't have to struggle to get a very good position here. Bishop g4 makes sense here, attacking the knight, and if the knight moves, maybe ideas about pushing the pawn to f3. Well, there's nothing really better here. He goes ahead and plays knight to d2, saying, you know what, if you want to push the pawn, go ahead and bring it. And here, Nepo does not do it. He goes ahead and plays knight to a5. Again, if you play something like pawn to f3 here, well, there's lots of different moves you can play here to get a better position. But the easiest is probably going to be something like g3, and maybe something like rook to e3. And this pawn will just become captured at some point here. It's already a +1 advantage here for white. And, well, trying to get over here for the checkmate won't do too well, as the bishop can really just retreat over here to f1. All right, so the knight went over to a5 over here. Pawn to c5 here, a really nice move here. And, well, why wouldn't you? He goes ahead and takes, and this was the idea. After taking on c5 here, now we have the beautiful pawns here ready to run forward, and they go for it. Pawn to e5, kicking the queen. Queen over to h6, and now pawn to d5. Not taking back, as this would just give you some double pawns that look terrible. But now we have two great candidate pass pawns. They're not pass pawns just yet, but they're definitely looking beautiful here. And look at these extra pawns over here. Yes, they're over here, but no, they're not looking good at all. All right, here we go. Rook a to d8, trying to put pressure on it. And here we go ahead and solidify the center. Pawn to c4 right here. Oof, I'm definitely loving the center. In fact, it doesn't even feel like I'm a pawn down right now. Or, as Ding would say, I'm a pawn down right now. All right, here we go. Pawn to b6 gets played. I mean, Nepo is up an extra pawn, and a pawn is a pawn. So, well, I would just say I don't think Nepo's very happy with these kind of structures. I mean, yes, he's up an extra pawn, but he is an attacking player. So he's pretty much on the defense over here, and this is not something that is very natural for him to want to play. All right, pawn h3 gets played, and you know Ding is not too worried if bishop does sacrifice here on h3. Simple chess, bishop, pawn takes on h3 over here, and if queen takes on h3, notice that the rooks really can't join in the game, so that's why there's really nothing to worry about in this situation. f3 could be a chance here, but after something as simple as bishop to e4, well, the bishop's going to run back, and we control the f3 square. Hopefully no one fell for the rook takes on e5, as bishop takes h7 check. It's just going to be winning the rook over here. And, well, if you want to trade queens, by all means, I'm ready to go to endgame game being an extra piece up. All right, back to the game. So after h3, here Nepo has to go ahead and retreat with bishop to h5. And here the same kind of idea, bishop to e4 gets played. Again, covering this f3 square just in case he wants to go ahead and sacrifice it at f3. Well, of course, rook takes e5 is still taboo, as bishop takes on h7 can get played. Rook e7, here we have this weak pawn here on e5, so Nepo's going to go ahead and double up and try to put pressure on this pawn. Queen c3 defending, rook to e8, and bishop f3. Again, everything is just working out according to plan. Here, knight to b7 gets played. Here, the knight is not doing anything on a5 over here, so the knight's going to go to b7, hopefully trying to run around to do something with its life. And, well, rook e2 got played. Nice and simple chess here from King Ding. He did not have to do anything special this game. He just plays good strategic chess and just wipes his opponent off the board. f6, desperation is in the air. Should we take it? Of course not. Passed pawns must be pushed. e6 gets played. Yes, the knight does get access to the d6 square, but these pawns are just killers over here. Knight to d6, rook a to e1, and knight to f5. This seems to be the only inaccuracy that he's really playing in this game here. I mean, there was not very much inaccuracies in the whole game. I think it was like 98% for white and like 90-something for black. And even then, this knight f5, I mean, it has a decent idea. It wanted to jump to d4 here. Unfortunately, he's playing against a master strategic player like Ding, and well, he figures a way out of this idea completely. So he starts off with bishop takes on h5, queen takes on h5, and here I think a lot of people would have gone ahead and played something like knight to f3, which does make sense. With that being said, here Ding plays the best move, rook to e4 here, putting pressure on f4, and also getting ready for the knight to come to d4 here too. No tempo off the rook. Okay, queen h6 got played, queen to f3, this pawn is going to die here. I mean, you're more than welcome to try pawn to g5 here, but after g5 here, I mean, look at this. Here, this is just looking like a crazy position, and I'm pretty sure Ding will find his way out of this. There's a lot of ways you can play here. G4 is one. I mean, you could just really ignore this too. Computer likes a4 here too. With that being said, here Nepo goes ahead and plays a move that, well, I think a lot of human players would play, but unfortunately it is a bad move. He goes ahead and plays knight to d4. Uh-oh. Things are not going too well. Why was this a bad move? White to move. What do you play here to get a big advantage? All right, hopefully you're pushing pawns. Hopefully you're trying to figure it out. What was wrong with this move? Can we just take the pawn on f4? You're more than welcome to, but here the best move was rook takes on d4. I love exchange sacrifices. If you become a strong enough chess player, you're going to be able to exchange sacrifice. And it's funny, the way that Nepo won in the second game, this is round 4, if he the same thing that Nepo did in the round 2, he sacrificed the exchange. Here we go. King Ding does it right back to him. So rook takes on d4. C takes on d4, and here knight to b3. Here we're going to be getting a monster knight over here, and this knight is just going to be really just like a kraken over here. It's an octopus that's got all of his arms ready, and he's just stretching all across the board over here. g5 gets played, desperation, but really the only thing that happens here is more holes in the territory. I know he was trying to hold on to the pawn, but this was just not the correct way to play here. All right, here we go. Knight takes d4. Look at this beautiful hole on f5. Look at this knight c6. Yeah, this knight is definitely more powerful than these rooks. How do we know? It's very simple. Look how far the rooks can move to. Look what they can do. Now look at the knight. The knight on both of these squares is just going to be impeccable. It's going to be doing as much as it can. And with the combination of these strong pawns and this pass pawn, the game is all but over here. All right, queen g6 got played, and now a move I really like, pawn to g4. Here you don't have to en passant. In fact, I don't really want you to. I want to put my knight here on f5. Well, unfortunately for King Ding over here, Nepo goes ahead and plays it. F takes on g3, F takes on g3. g4 can still come into the wings. h5 gets played, trying to stop that. That's okay. Knight f5 gets played anyways, putting pressure on the rook. I mean, if you just give away the rook now, here we'll just have some good passed pawns and basically just an easy winning position. Rook h7 gets played. Queen to e4 here. A nice little tactical trick here, threatening the cheapo knight to e7 check with the undefended queen. And yes, even after rook takes or even you try to move forward, the knight can take and the queen can take here too. King h8 gets played to move out the way. This is a nice move for King Ding because, well, the king is farther away from the pawns. And I don't think you want to move closer to the pawns as there will be even more checks to be played. All right, here we go. Passed pawns must be pushed. e7. It is now that fourth phase of the game, or the third phase. We're just transferring over into this winning part of the game. Queen f7 over here. And here, well, we finally get back all the material that we have invested and go ahead and play pawn to d6 here. Now here, this is pretty much forced to be taken. If you don't take, d7 gets played, and you can pretty much guess you're getting at least a queen back. And that's just too much here. So c takes on d6, knight takes on d6 for a nice fork here. And here you cannot take on e7. Why? Ugh, simple chess. Knight takes on f7 check here. What about taking with the queen here? Unfortunately, that doesn't work either. Here, knight takes on e8, and we're winning yet another piece. Oof. So here, queen g8 got played. And here it comes. Knight takes on e8 here. And woof, that's just a beautiful move. Knight takes on e8, queen takes on e8. And here, Ding is at a +8 advantage, almost +9 right here. And he just goes ahead and takes the win in. Queen to e6. King to g7. The king has nothing better than to try and get as close as possible. Maybe we can try and stop this passed pawn. But the combination of the passed pawn plus this weak king is just going to make it game over. Rook over to f1. New idea. f6 is weak. Rook h6 got played. Ooh, excuse me. Woo, 3 sneezes. All right. Rook to h6. Rook back over to d1. Here the idea is throwing back over here. Rook over to d8. f5 got played. Queen to e5 check. King to f7. Uh-oh. Did Ding mess up? No, this is all part of the plan. Queen takes on f5 check. And rook to f6. Notice the king cannot take on e7 as rook e1 check. Well, it's just going to go ahead and take the queen. So, rook went to f6 to guard. And the same kind of idea happens. Queen h7 check. King to e6. Again, do not take. Rook e1 check will just go ahead and win it. So, king e6. Queen over to g7, rook over to g6, and here, game over, queen to f8. Here, there is no good way to defend from this position. Here, you're more than welcome to try. You can go ahead and play something like rook over to g8, but here we have the stunner, rook over to d8, and now, well, this is a very beautiful looking position with the pieces set up nice and neat on the back row, but here you cannot take without losing a piece, or at least losing the queen. Oof, that would have been actually very nice to have been played out. Let's see. So that was queen f8. And of course, you know, well, gosh, this king is just so vulnerable. You can't take anywhere anyways. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know what you thought of this game. Let me know. Did Ding get lucky? Is Nepo going to be the next world chess champion? Or will it be King Ding? You know, I'm biased over here. I'm going for my boy Ding. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Please give us a like and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video.